We moved to Lexington, Missouri on my 8th birthday in 1983. My mother had finally left my abusive father after he went on a violent rampage. With nowhere else to go, she packed up my sister and me, and we spent the next few weeks living in a rundown hotel while she scraped together money as a seamstress, making just $3.75 an hour. One day, she came home glowing. She told us she found us a house, and we'd be moving in the very next day. The house was strangely beautiful, bigger on the inside than it looked from the outside. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, walk-in closets, a sunroom. It had 3 levels. Most of the bedrooms were upstairs, the living area in the middle, and a massive basement with a full working kitchen. At the time, I didn't understand how we could afford a house like that, especially on my mother's income. Now, I know why. Something was wrong with it. The first night we moved in, a lightning storm hit. I remember hearing a loud boom and watching sparks shoot out from the bathroom. Lightning had come through the window and struck the light fixture. It didn't cause a fire and there were no burn marks, but that light never worked again. Then the strange things started happening. My sister began complaining about voices at night. She'd get up and try to find where they were coming from, but there was never anyone there. One morning, she told us she felt someone sit on her bed during the night. After that, weird occurrences became routine. Nothing terrifying at first, just wrong. Appliances turned on by themselves. The stereo would blare music out of nowhere. The old TV, which had mechanical knobs, would change channels on its own, the knob physically turning without anyone near it. One night, the 3 of us were watching Dallas together. Right as the show was about to cut to commercial, the screen went black. Silence. Then, both wall-mounted light fixtures slowly rotated upside down, on their own. We sat there, frozen. My mother looked at my sister, who was as pale as a ghost. A few seconds later, the lights rotated back into place and Dallas resumed, at full volume with no commercials. The only history we could find on the house was that it once belonged to John Wyatt, a former mayor of Lexington. Then one day, I came home from school and saw my father sitting in the living room. He had tracked us down. Surprisingly, things were calm for a while. No fighting, no screaming. But that ended when he found out my mom had enrolled in night school. He exploded, tossed all her school books and notes into the fireplace and set them on fire. That night would be the last time he ever set foot in that house. The next morning, he was gone. I asked my mom where he went. All she said was, someone told him to leave, and he did. That summer, I stayed with him for a few weeks. I asked why he left so suddenly. The fear in his eyes was instant. "Son," he said, "there's something in that house." He told me that one night he was lying in bed. He and my mom slept in separate rooms and felt an intense cold. When he opened his eyes, there was an apparition floating just inches from his face. Hooded, faceless, but full of malice. He swore he could feel it telling him to leave and never come back. After he left, things settled down again, sort of. The ghost, if you could call it that, became part of the family. Things would go missing, and we'd hear my mom yell, "John, give me back my mixer!" And sure enough, whatever was missing would reappear hours later, in plain sight. Then, I found the room. I was 9, curious, and poking around my mother's bedroom. At the back of one of her walk-in closets was a small door, no more than 3 feet tall, secured with a brass latch. I opened it and found total darkness. With my Cub Scout flashlight, I discovered a narrow spiral staircase descending through the walls. I followed it all the way down. It bypassed every floor and emptied into a strange, windowless room in the basement. No door, no lights, nothing but cold concrete. I showed it to my mom, but she couldn't fit through the crawl space. Even I barely fit. To this day, I have no idea what that hidden room was for. After that, the disturbances escalated. Loud bangs woke us at night. The house would drop to freezing temperatures, so cold that my mom couldn't afford to keep the gas bill paid anymore. We had no choice. We moved out. Lexington is a small town. Over the years, I've met others who lived in that same house. Every one of them says the same thing. There's something in that house.